Hello, welcome to my YouTube page. My name is Ruth. I'm the face behind Balance Learning Tuition. So, we're going to talk about something very interesting today, and I would like you to settle down, get set, let's start. Okay, so I'll just go ahead to share my screen with you. So, today we are going to talk about descriptive writing. And writing is a part of English that is very important. So you need to learn how to not just write words, but capture minds with your words. So today we are going to look at how you can write. In this video, you're going to be learning what descriptive writing is, how to describe people, places, and things creatively, how to use strong words and sensory details, how to make boring sentences interesting. Descriptive writing just helps you capture the minds of your readers. So if you've ever come across a book that had your mind wandering for a very long time and then you're feeling different emotions, that means the writer was able to use his or her words right. So today I'm going to show you how you can do that. Okay, so I need you to take 3 seconds to get yourself ready. Let's jump right into the video. Also, make sure you have your writing materials ready too. What is descriptive writing? So, descriptive writing is a way of using words to paint a picture in the reader's mind. Descriptive writing is a way of using words to paint a picture in the reader's mind. So there has to be a way for you to make people picture what you're trying to talk about. And the only way you can do that is when you know how to use your words. Okay, so that's what descriptive writing is all about. You need to get into the head of your readers. You need to make them to talk about. For example, you're trying to talk about how the day feels like or what the day feels like. You're going to express it using words in a way that your reader understands what you're talking about. You could say it's a sunny day and the sun is scorching, right? That's a wonderful expression describing how hot the sun is. So that's how you use words creatively to describe. All right, so what is descriptive writing? See, hear, feel, smell, touch. Okay, so descriptive writing helps readers see. When you're writing, you need to make sure that your readers can see, try to picture what you're talking about. They can see it. You have to paint the picture so they can imagine it and see it. Also, they can imagine what you're talking about, hear it, and they can feel what you're trying to say. For example, emotions. Okay, they can feel if you're talking about a sad scene or you're telling a story about a sad event. Your readers need to feel that that emotion. Okay, also if you're talking about something that has to do with smell, your readers need to be able to perceive that smell you're trying. You need to use words creatively to express this, to capture the minds of your readers. Also, when you're talking about something that has to do with touch, right? Your readers need to feel it and touch it the way it is. Okay, so that's one thing about descriptive writing. So I need you to do something for me. Take a minute to think about an interesting book you've read that made your mind wander. Okay, this book is very interesting. What made it interesting? What really happened? What was the picture what did you imagine in your head that made your mind wander? So you can write the name of the books in the comment section. So I'm going to take a look at them after the video. Okay. We want to understand how to describe. How do you really describe? When you're talking about describe an object, a person, or an event, your words should answer the following questions. Your words, there are words you do not just come up with words because you want to describe, you just want to describe, right? You need to answer your words need to answer certain questions like what did you see? For example, I saw a brown dog. Okay, that's a description. The dog is brown and it was barking, yes, right? So that's a description. What did you hear? A barking dog or something. Okay, so what could you smell? What did the dog smell like? Did it smell, I don't know, minty? What's the word? Minty, musky. These are words you can use to describe something. Or if there's an event, a situation, and the air smells kind of dusty, that's a description, right? Good. The fourth one says, what could you feel? What did you feel? Did you feel shivers? If you're in a, most times, let's say the weather is chilly, right? What feeling did you get from the weather? How did you feel about the weather? Or how did an event make you feel? Did it make you feel sad? Awful? Like something, a food you tried in a restaurant, right? And you're asked to describe it. How did it taste? Was it salty? Was it sugary? Was it bitter? Okay, so this is how to describe objects, people, place. Okay, good. So when you're describing, your words need to answer these questions. You can just pick one object and write everything you need to, every features of that object. Okay, then using these questions to answer to pick out all the features you need to talk about, right? So I want to try some examples of so I'm just going to move my head away from the I'm just going to move my head. All right, so we want to see some examples of descriptive writing, of using words to describe objects or situations. Okay, so this is a dog, right? What is the dog doing? I guess it's running, right? And this is supposed to be a muddy water, right? Okay. Now, this first sentence says, the dog ran. Boring. It doesn't describe anything. It just said the dog ran. Anybody can say that, right? But for you to be descriptive and very detailed, in order for you to capture the mind of, let's assume you're writing a book, right? If you want to capture the mind of your reader, you can't say the dog ran. When you look at the second sentence, the brown dog sprinted across the muddy path, barking loudly with excitement. This second sentence described the dog. What is the dog's color? What did you see? It answered the question, what did you see? A brown dog, right? What was it doing? It was, okay, it sprinted, right? What did he do? It sprinted because it's in the past. Across the muddy path, right? This sentence here, the muddy path, is describing how the water looks. Okay, so these are words that I use to describe. You need to understand antonyms, you need to understand similes, you need to understand some of these things to help you put together a good sentence. Okay, so what was the dog doing? It was barking loudly with excitement. Okay, so this second sentence, if you're a reader, I'm going to ask you a question. If you're a reader and you came across the first sentence and the second sentence in two different books, which one of them are you going to stick with? Which one are you going to find interesting? For me, the second one is going to be more interesting for me because I'll be looking forward to see what happened next, right? Yes, that's what descriptive writing does. It keeps you interested in words. Okay? All right, so let's have a look at some other examples. To God, I'm going to. Okay, so let's have a look at this example. The girl sat on the bench, right? That's the first sentence. The girl sat on the bench. Boring. What happened to the girl? Why is she sitting on the bench? What color is the bench? These are the questions that I would ask myself if I'm reading a book and I see this. My mind is not going to be interested because I'm like, what happened? What really happened? But if I see the second sentence in a passage, the tired girl slumped onto the old wooden bench, wiping sweat from her brow as the late afternoon sun warmed her face. This is a very detailed description of everything that happened in this picture. Okay, the girl is tired, the sun is shining. Talk about everything you see. You could pick an object. For example, this is my lip gloss. This is my lip gloss. Talk about everything that image has, all the features of that image. That's how you get some of the descriptions. Okay. Now, I need you to do something for me. We're almost coming to the end of this video. So I need you to describe this object. This here is a shaving cream, right? This is a shaving cream. Now, you're going to describe this object for me. And let your sentence or sentences, you could write 2, 3, 4, one sentence at all, least one, right? Let your sentences or sentence express the following. The first one there is, what does it smell like? I believe a shaving cream smells minty, right? Yeah. So this is a word that can be likened to the smell of a shaving cream. You have to be specific with your words. You cannot just say it doesn't smell nice, it smells bad. You don't say that. You need to describe what you feel. Okay, if it means going to the dictionary to find words, do that. Okay. The third one says, say how it felt when you touched it. I believe you have a shaving cream in your houses, so you should be able to have a feel of what it's like, right? So you can get it, just sprinkle a little bit on your finger, on your palm, then feel it. Write what it felt like. Is it foamy? Is it slippery? Is it slimy? These are words you should use. The last one says, compare it to something using like, right? Compare it to something using like. which is simile. You can use simile. So you can compare it to something using like, you can say it smells like, or it feels like an old pillow. It smells like my grandma's soap. It smells like a butterfly. It smells like, just try to make your words come alive. All right. So that's what you're going to do for me. You're going to describe this object, and you can write your answers in the comment section. I will check it when I'll check it when I see it. All right. And I'm definitely going to give out badges to the best ones. Okay. So please make sure you take your time to do this. And if you've watched this video up to this point, thank you so much for watching my video. Do give it a thumbs up. Do give it a thumbs up and watch out for next week's lesson. God bless you. Bye.